Happy Sabbath, everyone. It's a great privilege to me to be here behind this pulpit this morning.
Amen.
I have always heard about people question about this point, this number. This is a real number or a symbolic number. We know the numbers in the Bible. Let's see what the numbers have to say about this text today. In divine mathematics, we will find harmony, balance, and intelligence. God has many ways to sign his work. Numbers is one of them. Did you see these numbers in the nature? It's hard to find this number in the nature. But you have something interesting in these numbers. How this number is composed. The one number plus the previous one, you have the following number. Always following the same pattern. If you divide one number for previous one, you have the result 1.6181. Always have the same result. Any number you pick the list, you have the same result. This sequence, it's known for Fibonacci sequence or golden ratio or golden numbers. We use these numbers in the nature. You don't see this in this way. Many mathematicians have already studied these numbers. Through the ages, these numbers catch attention for many people. The same numbers you see in the orange in the graph. It's the same numbers you see. Pay attention to this graph. Now, you see the result. You find this very easy to see. In the stars, in the plants, human body, here it comes, waves, eggs, etc. You have a many example. You see, look for this graph for these numbers. A perfect human body follows this golden ratio. The perfect human body is following this ratio, golden ratio. You see you are perfect or not. Yeah, it's very easy. And the golden ratio you see in the Noah's Ark. You see the same numbers. You see the same numbers in the Ark of the Covenant. And the bronze altar, you see the same golden ratio. The result, we divide two measurements, is the same. Where is the measurement come from? God himself gave these measurements to Noah and Moses. It is origin by God. By studying the numbers in the Bible, we will find the following relationship. 3 is divine perfection. Number 5, grace, salvation, or redemption. Number 7, spiritual perfection. Number 10, ordinal perfection. And number 12 is a governmental perfection. In my last study here was the number 5, remember? For grace and salvation. Today we are going to explore the number 12 for the government of God. Number 12 is connected with the divine government. What is the means for word government? Govern is action, result, or effect, or governing or guiding governance. Tendency or ability to have a power of something. This means the government. You have the example here in Timothy 3, verse 12. It's a talk about a deacon. He has a good manager of his children and of his household. It's need a good governor. Yeah. In the theocracy, it's a type of government. It is a government by divine guidance, or by officials who are regarded as divinely guided. In many theocracies, government leaders are members of the cleric, and the state legal system is based in the religion's law. This is I believe our government in the church, it is theocracy. The members of the clergy represent the people of community. Our globe is divided into 24 time zones. Why is divided into in 24 time zones? Because 12 for the day and 12 for the night. If you divide our globe, is 360 degrees. If you divide 24, you have 15 degrees each parallel. Meridians, yes. If you divide our time is 60 minutes. If you divide by 5, you have 12 parts for time. 12 for the day is according to John 11, verse 9. Are there not 12 hours in the day? And Genesis 1:16, the great light to govern the day, and the lesser light to govern the night. Our globe is governed by the time. The number 12 is also connected with the labor administration. Here you see the example of Elisha. He worked for 12 oxen. Okay? I have another example in Solomon's temple. Everything or many things in the temple is composed by the number 12. We have a 12 oxen for the sacrifice, the altar. Here I have in the entrance of the palace, I have the lions, 12 lions in the steps. And he also, 1 Kings 4, verse 7, Solomon had 12 governors over all Israel, who provide food for the king and his household. Each one made provision for 1 month of the year. It's 12 governors, one for each year or each month of the year. In the dedication of the temple, he made different offerings from the leaders of Israel when he is anointed. 12 silver plates, 12 silver bowls, and 12 gold plants. Everything used in that time, each number 12. The temple have another division, very interesting. The organization of the work in the temple. It is priests and their divisions, 24. With 12 plus 12. Captains is 12 and rulers, 24,000. The singers is 12 and the divisions, 24. All these numbers is used for administration of the temple. We have another example here of about 12 years. We have that Moses take to the palace of Pharaoh. He has 12 years old. Jesus, before the doctors of the law, he has 12 years old also. And the woman with the issue of the blood also have 12 years suffering for these issues. And the Jairus' daughter was the age of 12 years old when Christ resurrected her. In the time of Jesus, one school was recognized with minimum 12 students. One of the reasons why Jesus had 12 disciples. to recognize for the authorities. Only at the age of 12 could a boy read the Bible in the public in time of Jesus. When Jesus comes to the temple, has the opportunity to read the Bible. One quotation is taking my attention. Always I read this text. It's Matthew 14, verse 20. So they all ate and were filled, and they took the 12 baskets full of fragments to remain it. My question is, why remain 12 baskets? What not 10 or 9 or any number? Why is 12? It means the organization of the work. It's a result for the groups create for receive this food and have a 12 remain. Christ and his disciples ate after the all people is used for these 12 baskets to eat. And the was taken for the ones that stay at home. Nothing is lost in that time. Every bread is used. The Christ and his disciples and the people stay at home. Another example, here it's amazing fact that only 12 men were anointed through the Bible history. Only 12. Specific number, specific people, a specific reason. Now is the beginning of the Israel people. The promise was repeated many times to whom? Abraham. Abraham received a promise. Thy seed shall be the nations of the earth are blessed, and thou shalt be father of the many nations, and will make thee a great nation, and to thy seed will give this land. Many promises it's sent to Abraham. Abraham make a shortcut to help God to fulfill his promise. But interesting, for Ismael, her son, for Agar's son, you have a promise, have 12 princes according to the nations. Ismael have 12 sons. These sons is always being a test for Israel. It's kind of help the people of Israel to work in the right way. Isaac. The promise also repeated to Isaac. Repeated again to Jacob. But Jacob saw the beginning of the fulfillment of this promise. Why? Why Jacob saw the beginning of his promise?
12 sons.
Because he have 12 sons. Abraham have only one. It's hard to believe you take a great nation. But with 12, it's more easy. Yeah, it's a reality. Here is the son of Jacob. 12 brothers, parents of a great nation. According to the Joseph test, all is converted. When these brothers come to the Egypt, Joseph make a test to see what these people are. He's make a declaration, statement. This all is converted. Amen? Chapter 7, verse 8 says, later Isaac became the father of Jacob, and Jacob became a father of 12 patriarchs. And this is Desire of Ages, point 291, says, in the Old Testament, the 12 patriarchs stand as representatives of Israel. So the 12 apostles were to stand as representatives of the gospel church. In this quote, we have the key to understand our study today. The name of the father of each tribe will be identified forever. The number 12 is again linked to the organization of the church. Acts Apostle is 10. It was the ordination of 12 that the first step was taken in the organization of the church. The first organization registered is from 12 disciples, 12 apostles. He ordained 12 and sent him to these people to preach around the world. Back to the Israelites people. The order of the tribes in the camp and the marching order. The organization was visible in the appearance of the camp. No matter where you look, the organization is great. You remember one brother come to curse the Israel people? Balaam. What's the impression Balaam received? One volunteer, please, to read this quotation.
As Balaam looked upon the encampment of Israel, he beheld with astonishment the evidence of their prosperity. They had been represented to him as a rude, disorganized multitude, infesting the country in roving bands that were a pest and terror to the surrounding nations. But their appearance was the reverse of all this.
Continue.
He saw the vast extent and perfect arrangement of their camp, everything bearing the marks of thorough discipline and order. He was shown the favor with which God regarded Israel and their distinctive character as his chosen people. They were not to stand upon a level with other nations, but to be exalted above them all. The people shall dwell alone and shall not be reckoned among the nations.
Balaam received a false report. But when he go to the top of the mountain to see the encampment of Israel, it's impossible for him to curse Israel. Because the organization is perfect. Another effort is a part of the high priest garment. What is there? 12 stones. Which of the names of children of Israel? Each engraved is a seal with the name of the 12 tribes. The high priest carrying all the time the name of all tribes of Israel. Catch my attention here is the board was formed of variety of precious stones, the same that form the 12 foundations of the city of God. The same stones for what? Foundation of the New Jerusalem. It's the same stones, precious stones. This is very important. Another volunteer to read this verse, Exodus 24, 3 and 4.
Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord and all the judgments, and all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which the Lord has said will we do. And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord, and rose up early in the morning, and builded an altar under the hill, and 12 pillars, according to the 12 tribes of Israel.
When they camped near Mount Sinai, Moses built the altar under the hill, and 12 pillars, according to the 12 tribes of Israel. The spies chosen to go around, who is? Is all then were leaders of the Israelites, one for each tribe. When the Israelites crossing the Jordan River, Joshua prepared two commemorative monuments. One he made in the midst of the Jordan, another carrying the stones to the first camp in the new land. Joshua 4, verse 8. And took 12 stones out of the midst of Jordan, as the Lord spoke unto Joshua, according to the number of the tribes of the children of Israel. And the Joshua 4, verse 20, and those 12 stones which they took out of Jordan did Joshua pitch in Gilgal. In the first place, he building an altar. The breads exchanged every Sabbath in the tabernacle was made from each tribe. It represents each tribe. In the Korah rebellion, it took a miracle to confirm the leadership of Aaron and Moses. Choose one rod for each tribe and waiting until tomorrow, another day, to see what's the result. This is need a miracle to show who is the leader of Israel. Elijah make one altar, and he will use how many stones? 12. What's the number is? According the number of tribes of sons of Jacob. When the people, Israelites, make a war, each tribe needs to send his warriors. If something is missing, what's happened? The people don't go to war, but what? To send to summon the people to come together. In Judges 21, verse 8 to 10. That time, no one of the inhabitants of Jezreel Gilead was there. Then the people call these people to make war together. According to Acts 1, verse 26, Matthias has numbered with the 11 apostles. Its number is not be incomplete. When Judas take his life for himself, another apostle need a replacement. His name, it's Matthias, his replacement. It's always this number need to be complete. In the time of Jesus, he said to offer one of the rewards will be to sit on the thrones to judge Israel. It's Matthew 19, verse 28. Also, the ancient city of Jerusalem, in the time of Nehemiah, there were 12 doors. Some time ago, I spoke here about these 12 doors. It's very interesting to see. And here you see the name of 12 gates and his meaning and symbol. Now, I have a question for you. The 12 sons of Jacob was literal or symbolic? No doubts. The effort with 12 stones for each of the names of children of Israel is a literal or symbolic? The 12 pillars of the Sinai according to the 12 tribes of Israel. The 12 spies, every tribe shall send a man. Literal or symbolic? The 12 stones taken from the Jordan River, one for each tribe to set up altar in the first camping place. It's literal or symbolic? The 12 loaves of bread representing the children of Israel. Literal. The The 12 roads, according to the Father's house. The altar of Elijah, 12 stones according to the number of the tribes of sons of Jacob. It's literal or symbolic. The organization of 12 apostles in the first step in the organization, the early church. Literal. And the 12 gates of the ancient city of Jerusalem. Is literal or symbolic? It's a literal. Now I use the words Brother Livio used some Sabbaths ago. Memories of the future. I like this word. Now we have memories of the past. Now I use the same words to use in the future. What about New Jerusalem? According to Revelation 21, 9 to 27. Here we have described what is the New Jerusalem. What is there? The city have 12,000 furlongs. His wall, 144 cubits. It is 12 plus 12 times, sure. 12 plus, times 12 is 144 cubits. 12 gates with 12 angels and the names of 12 tribes. 12 foundations of 12 precious stones with the names of 12 apostles. We make a conclusion. The tribes, the apostle, the sons of Israel, everything is literal. And verse 2 for chapter 22 talk about one special tree. What is the name of the tree? Tree of life. How many fruits this tree produce? 12 fruits. One each month. It's not amazing? Ezekiel 48. There I have a specification or idea what the distribution of the names in that doors. For 12 doors, you have the 12 names. The 3 doors in the north, the 3 in the east, 3 in the south, and another 3 in the west. You have the name for each son of Israel there. You have the name of the 12 stones. What is the stones were? The same stones of the ephod for the high priest. And the foundation of the city of are the same. The wall of the city has the 12 foundations, and on them are the names of the 12 apostles. You see here the names for all these apostles. And the gates are written the names of the 12 tribes of Israel. You confirm about these names in Revelation 21, verse 12. Now we come to the same quotation or text used in the beginning. Revelation 7, 1 to 8. Verse 3 and 4 talk about, specific verse 4 talk about the number. 144,000 of the tribes of the children of Israel are sealed. What is the conclusion we reach when we find the same words using all examples mentioned in the beginning? What is the conclusion?
Literal.
This number is literal because use the same words, the same examples, and the same people. I am sure it's a real number. It's more special here is Jesus through open the gates of the golden city to lead us in, where we are made welcome, for he had kept the commandments of God and had a right to the tree of life. Who has a right to eat these fruits? The sealed people. This is a real seed, it's a real tree, and for real people. This is important quotation in Galatians 3, verse 29. If you are Christians, then you are Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise. Do you believe? In conclusion, the destiny of souls hangs upon the manner with which they are received. The destiny of souls hang upon the manner which they are receive this message. Revelation 7, verse 3. Do not harm the land or sea or trees until we have sealed the foreheads of the servants of our God. The good news for you in this morning, according to Revelation 7, verse 3. The sealing has not been completed, because the angel still holds the winds until the last one is sealed. It's real. The angels is still holding the winds. Why? Because the number is not complete yet. And we have the later rain come to complete this number. We will start in this lesson about the later rain, about Acts Apostle. Today is time to receive from Jesus one opportunity to be sealed. Get ready, because we have a little time.